Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Claire and this is my first YouTube video ever. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me and just show you guys what I do for my everyday makeup. Yeah, this is so weird. So bear with me while I kind of figure things out while I'm filming this video. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to prime. I'm going to go in with my Smashbox Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Face Primer. And then I also go in with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and I just spray this all over my face. Go in, and then I'm just going to go in with foundation. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation Matte and Poreless one in the color 128. And I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. And then take Real Techniques Beauty Sponge and just stipple that all over my face.
A few moments later.
Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer, and this is the itCosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer in the shade Medium Nude. It's 21.5, that's the number shade range. Take some on the back of my hand and just take it with a sponge. And then I'm going to just pat that in under my eye. And I like to put whatever's left over on top of the eyelid. And this will be a great base for the eyeshadow that we'll be using later. Then I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade, what shade is this? 22 Wheat. That's what I meant to say, not 20 Tweet. Okay, and I'm just going to put this directly under my eye. Just like where I have like more of this dark circle discoloration here. And then I'm going to blend it out with my beauty blender once again. And really just make sure it looks smooth under there. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer and the shade 375, and I'm just going to spot conceal with this concealer. And just put it on any bumps that I may have around my face. Now I use this concealer because it's a little bit of a fuller coverage and it's more my skin tone shade. So the other two concealers were a shade lighter than my actual skin tone. So I just used those two concealers to brighten up my under eye. So before my my under eyes start to crease, I'm gonna go in with my face powder, and this is the Morphe Bacon Set Powder in the shade Banana. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just gonna use that, and I'm gonna just put it on the cap, dip my sponge in, and we're just going to set that. I don't like to take too much because I actually like to use the sponge to melt it into the skin. I don't use it to, I'm not using it to bake right now, so just using it to set it, and I just pat it in. So for the rest of my face, I'm just going to be using a big fluffy brush and taking whatever's left in the cap, tap off any excess, and just lightly set the rest of my face. And I don't really rub, I just kind of lightly pat it in because I don't want to move any of the concealer, the spot concealing that we just did. So make sure everything stays in place. And I just lightly pat the powder in. Now I'm going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Almond. So I'm just going to use this bronzer just to bring back some warmth into my skin. Just like that. This is not necessarily used to contour. This is just more like a warmth bronzer for all over the face. But I just like roughly kind of hit the points where you would usually put bronzer. Just like that. Now I'm going to go in with a much more like precise brush, like a contour brush. And then I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula bronzer in the shade Deep Bronze. And I'm going to be using this to slightly contour the face. Then I'm gonna take my powder, my Morphe powder again, and I'm going to bake the sides of the nose. So I'm just gonna go in and just kind of stamp on some powder right here on this side. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in to eyebrows. And what I use is I use the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 5. And then I also use the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Pomade in the shade ash brown with an angled brush. So I'm going to use a spoolie and just brush out my brows to make sure they are in place, and just to kind of dust off any powder that got into them. I'm going to start working onto the outer parts of my eyebrow. Usually I start off with the arch and I just make little hair-like strokes. Let me see if I can zoom in real quick. Do that, yeah. Okay. Then I start working my way into the front of the brow. And I just start underneath. So. And without putting any extra product onto my brush, I'm just going to lightly feather upward strokes in the front of my brow to give that like ombre effect. You don't want to add any extra product. Just like that. Then I'm going to brush it out again. To blend everything together, and if there's any harsh lines, it just kind of blends them out and make it look more natural and fuller. Like that. And then this is when I usually go in with my Precisely My Brow Pencil. And I just fill in the ends of my brow, the tail of my brow, the arch, and just kind of make it a little bit darker, or fill in any extra gaps that I may have missed. This is just kind of a good, I like to use a pencil to kind of make more hair-like strokes on top of what we just did. Let me make sure the arch is nice and precise, like that. And I like to hold my pencil near the end so it doesn't like put so much product onto my brows. And just like that, that's the brow. I'm just gonna brush it out once again. Okay, so that's one eyebrow done. Now I'm just gonna go ahead off camera and just do the other eyebrow. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I finished both of my brows, I'm just gonna clean it up by using a little bit of my concealer. Any concealer that's close to your actual face, to your actual foundation, you're gonna want to use to clean up the brows. So I use the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and I just take a little brush, a little detailed brush, I don't know if you can see that, just like that, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and very lightly just clean up the edges of the brow to make it look sharp. So I'm just gonna start off with the bottom first, and then we'll do on top of the brow. Both brows are done and I have cleaned them up with a little bit of concealer. I'm going to go in with the Got2b styling gel. And this is just a clear gel, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. I use this as my brow gel just because I feel like this kind of holds my brow hairs in place a little bit longer than actual brow gel. The only thing with this is that you have to use a little bit because it does tend to look a little bit like clumpy. So I use a little bit. I just take a little bit on the back of my hand, kind of rub my spoolie with the gel, kind of spread out. And then I just go in lightly and set the brow hairs in place. And I don't really press that hard. I just kind of go along the hairs very gently and just brush them in place. So I'm going to use just like a fluffy brush, take a little bit of my powder, and I'm just going to set the concealer that I just laid down to set my brows. So that doesn't move or slide around on my face. Just ever so slightly. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush. I'm going to use the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. And I'm just going to put this on the apples of my cheeks. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. It's so nice. It's also like a highlighter in one. Watch. It leaves such a nice glow on your cheeks. You see that? It looks so good. So I just put it on the apples of my cheeks, blend it up a little bit to the temple, and just do the other side. I love blush. Blush is probably one of my favorite steps to my makeup routine. It just makes me feel cute. Does that make sense? Like, I just feel cute whenever I apply blush, so I love this step. Put a little bit on my chin, a little bit on my forehead, just kind of put it everywhere. I'm gonna set my face real quick with the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. So I'm going to take this itCosmetics Desert Oasis palette, and this is such a good palette because it has really nice metallics in here. It has some good mattes and like a good light matte bone shade right here. I love this shade. It's so good. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here. It's just like a medium bronze shade, and I'm going to use that as my crease transition color. Just gonna use a fluffy brush and just start swirling that in my crease. Just like so. I'm actually gonna zoom in again real quick. I'm actually gonna zoom in pretty far. And I kind of focus most of the product right here on the outer corner and blend whatever's left over on the brush into the inner corner. Once that's on, I'm going to use just a flat shader brush. And I'm going to take this bone color right here, sand, and I'm going to put that on top of my lid. And I'm not going to bring it out here because I want that shade to kind of stick through. I just kind of want it on the inner and then in the center. Just like that. Look how bright that looks. Oh, it looks so good. I love this shade so much. And I'm going to take this deeper shade right here. This deeper shade right here. And I'm going to put that onto the outer corner right here. Just focus that. The outer corner. So this is the Essence eyeliner, waterproof eyeliner. It's the super last one. And it's in black. So I'm going to be using this, and this is what the brush looks like. I love this eyeliner. I love the formula because it's like so black and it turns like, it's like really matte. So I really, really like this eyeliner, but the brush makes it really, really hard to use. So I will say I do recommend this eyeliner to really anyone, but we just have to kind of practice with it because the brush can be a little bit flimsy. So I'm first going to start off with my left eye, and I'm just going to create a line from my waterline straight to the end of my brow. And then like that, I just kind of flick it. And then I bring it from the tip, and then I just drag it a straight line down to the lash line. Just like that. And then I just fill it in. And that's my everyday wing. The shape does change almost every day, but this is the basic shape that I usually do with my winged eyeliner. So I'm going to be going in with lashes, and my favorite lash that I love to get from the drugstore, any local drugstore. It's mostly, I usually get this from CVS. So this is the Kiss So Wispy lashes. I usually get the blowout version, but this one is in the style, let me see, Pompadour. And it just looks like these. They go from short to long, and I just love this style so much. It just really complements my eye shape, and it's perfect. I don't even have to cut it. So I'm just gonna use those, and I'm gonna be using my Duo glue. I stick it on in the center, and then I go ahead with some tweezers and stick them on. So now I'm just gonna let that dry for a little bit, and then I'll go back in with my tweezer and squeeze my lashes, my real lashes, with the ones that we just put on, my fake lashes. And then we'll put some eyeliner on top of the band just to kind of hide the glue. Now I'm going to put on some mascara to blend the real lashes with the fake lashes. And I use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise in the shade Black. So put a little bit. Now I'm going to take this shade right here, a little bit, and just put it into my inner corner. Okay, so I just finished the other eye and now I'm going to move on to lips. And for my lip liner, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liner. And this is in the shade Sugar and Spice. So I'm just going to line my lips. And I just slightly overline them. Only on the top lip though. And then I'm going to go in with a gloss, and this is the Estee Lauder gloss. Why won't this focus? So it just comes with like a little brush applicator, and I'm just gonna apply this all over. I love this color, it's so pretty. And then just blend that together. Okay, so that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. It would also mean the world to me if you liked this video and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell to make sure you guys know when I post the next video. I will leave everything that I used in the description down below, and I'll also leave all my social media links so you guys can follow me and also chit chat with me and get to know me better on there. I'd love to meet new people. That being said, you guys can also leave a comment down below, ask me any questions, let me know what your favorite makeup product is or your favorite makeup step is. I just love to know and get to know you guys a little bit better. So don't forget to ask me questions. I may do a Q&A in the next video, so don't be shy. Ask me as many questions as you can. I'd love to answer them all. So yeah, other than that, have a good day. Bye guys. Say bye. Say bye. Bye guys.